There's a difference between holding someone accountable and just dogpiling, right? The fashion girls on TikTok have been very loud about the Hanifa shipping situation. Listen, the complaints make sense. We've all been there. But the backlash got so intense that Hanifa had to come on TikTok while on maternity leave to address it. And this is where I'm like, okay, y'all, let's reel it in a bit. Now, regarding the shipping and the miscommunication, this is clearly a systems breakdown. But the way some of y'all are acting, y'all thinking like she took y'all money and ran with it, as if you were never going to get your items. This is not a scam. It's not a scam. The level of
I
outrage
want to
just
stress the importance, the actual life-saving, a critical importance of saying ouch, especially as Black women, of raising our hands, saying this is exhausting. This is challenging. When you hear a Black woman in particular speaking about the weight or burden or cost of her experience, particularly when it's calling out unfair disparities when it comes to resourcing or rest or help or credibility or compensation, the reaction is typically callous. Well, you're in a better position than me. If you don't like it, why don't you just quit then? That's typically how we respond to a Black woman raising her hand and saying, you know what, this is exhausting. This is difficult. This is
board in 2014. I got everything I wanted. So
really
everything on my vision board came true. Everything was great. So I decided I'm going to do another vision board, but this time I'm going to physically do the things that I would put on my vision board. So instead of just imagining the life I want, I've been practicing it. Yeah.
So
I really want to own a home big enough for all of my family to come over and to entertain large groups of people. So of course, it's a big ass home. I'm talking over 4,000 square feet.
Yes.
So I'm going to open houses.
In LA.
I'm going to open houses. And I'm not talking...
Hi.
Let's put the world on pause for right now.
Somebody Stop the World, as Maxwell says, one of my favorite songs.
Oh, wait, I don't know that Maxwell song.
It's from, I think it's Black Summer's Night. With
okay.
The first of that trilogy.
Got it.
They're all titled the same, but the emphasis is different. I'm a Maxwell stan from like way back.
So you must be excited for the Nia Long, Lorenz Tate.
Don't Ever Wonder.
Because it's based on the whole
Maxwell
album, right? The Urban Hang Suite album.
Yes.
Girl, and I love Till the Cops Come Knocking. There was a time that one song was on repeat.
Girl, that's all I'm saying. I'm like the song alone.
Anyways, welcome back to another episode of We Are Out of Office. I am Nikki T.
I'm Jane Ellen, and the autoresponder is officially on.
Yes, and what's your out of office reply this week?
Okay, my out of office reply is I'm currently out of office, but not really out of office. I'm just getting a coffee and going back to work because your girl is on a writing deadline, so it is what it is.
Well, in honor of MLK Day, I have a dream. A well-rested one.
Which rest is our inheritance and entitlement. So I think that is very much the way to spend MLK Day, which is the day that we're recording. So,
Amen.
But we're technically working on MLK Day.
But does this really feel like work? This is basically us having our weekly girlfriend chat, and we're just recording it and sharing it with everybody.
That is true.
So it's not really work.
It's not really work.
No.
This is, we're out of office.
This is if this is work, this is the easiest job probably I will ever have in life.
Right? I like this job.
I love this job. This is a great Black job. Remember that?
This is a great oh yeah. Oh girl, things have
simpler
gone
times.
I know. When the offense was mild.
When the offense was mild.
Oh, I never thought I would miss those days.
Never thought, yes, right? Gosh, those were the days.
When just Black jobs was the worst thing to think
Even
about.
Mocha agrees. Yeah.
Even Mocha agrees. So I see you, girl,
Yes. So my ICU girl this week goes out to Mara Campo. She is an Emmy Award winning journalist, podcaster, and a certified genius in my book. She became famous in my world when she posted these really fun hair hacks. The most recent one, she put her hair in a high bun. Then she added a ponytail of curly hair and then wrap it around her own. And then she put the ends towards the front and used like a crochet tool to pull out few tendrils that would shape her face.
I remember this.
And
I
then she,
loved her stuff.
right? And then she put the rest of it in the back, and it was a professional hairstyle in like 15 minutes. So I recently learned that she took her innovation to a whole nother level. She is the founder of this thing called iWigs, which are miniature wigs for your eyelids. It's basically an adhesive with lashes that you place on your eyelids. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but think back to a time when you got gussied up, eyelids, lashes, mascara, and all, and you get home and you're like, I gotta rub this off. Well, now Mara has come up with this thing called the eye wig. The adhesive is tinted like as if it has eyeshadow on it with the lashes. So you just pretty much put it on your eyelid. So when you're in a rush and you need a quick beat for your eyes, you just slap on this eye wig. You got your eyeshadow, lashes, mascara all in one fell swoop. And it's reusable.
Would you try this? I actually have seen adhesive
Absolutely.
eyeliner before. I've seen adhesive eyeliner.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's actually hit the market in the United States, but I saw it in Paris and I bought it years and years ago and never used it because it looks so cool. I think it's an amazing innovation. Would you actually use it?
I
You
would
think you'd try it?
absolutely use it. It's customizable. It's $20. She launched this at the end of last year and it sold out in an hour. She sold 300 in an hour. And then
I love that.
now she has a waiting list for 6,000 orders, or at least at the time she did. She has 3 colors: Dolce, Naked, and Hazel. And I would absolutely try this. It is so simple and easy. It's kind of like a duh. When you watch it, you're like, of course this would work. Why didn't anyone else come up with this? But thankfully she has, and I can't wait to try this brand. This is technically kind of like a mind of my black business, so I'm cheating a little bit, but I love this for Mara because she basically turned something that she normally does into a business, a successful
Which is
business.
brilliant. Which is
Brilliant. So I'm like, I see you, Mara, because now she's surpassed $100,000 in sales, and it just launched. I love this
So
for her.
I'm still like, girl, how did you find this woman's last name? That is like serious research because I know her from Instagram, seeing her as Mara Campo, and I thought that was her name the entire time. So I'm like, I was today years old, but I watched her crochet styles, her hacks, her beauty hacks, her beauty tips. So I was today years old when I knew her actual name. And I'm super excited about her translating success and her platform building on social to something that is actually going to get her compensated and that she has equity and ownership in. So even if I am not the eye makeup person, I would try these just to support anyway because it's cool, it's innovative, and maybe it'd be cute.
It looks
I'm just
so
not
cute.
I'm not a big eye makeup person, but I like the idea of something you could just stick on. Like I said, I bought the stick on eyeliner, so I'm just in for one just because. Just because.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a
we'll include it in
minimalist,
link.
but
Oh, yeah, no, she has options that are a bit more minimalist, and then ones that are a little bit like va 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 voom. It's great, and it's only $20, and it's reusable. Like you can
I
reuse
love
it.
that. And
Girl.
I think my mom and I, we have been going through trying to find her eyelashes. Like she loves eyelash extensions, but she doesn't like the hassle of putting them on. So I kind of like this idea of an easier way to do it. So check it out. Okay, so my ICU girl is Shirlene Obuobi. 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 So
You stay finding people with names
that I
like
can't
this that you just be struggling to pronounce.
Obuobi. That's
No,
right?
it's right. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead,
Okay.
girl.
I practiced before I did it. But she's an author, cardiologist, cartoonist, And what I love about her is that she has an online presence, aside from what she creates and who she is professionally, that is so transparent and is so whole person centered. And she does what I think a lot of typical uber professionals, I'll call them, the doctors, lawyers, people who rely on their reputations and they have to appear all serious and everything. She is so transparent about her personal life. She talks about her divorce. She talks about decentering men. And I love that she takes an approach of realism to romance. So she writes romance novels, but she also tells the girlies, like, listen, there's marriage and there's the patriarchy version and there's the actual work of what a marriage looks like. And here's the real deal so that you can actually choose what's best for you. And she's like, so if you see me marry again, this man will be obsessed with me. Okay.
I know that's
That
right.
is my number one criteria. So I loved perusing her social media platform. Her TikTok is a lot of fun. And so I just wanted to highlight her in general because of what I'll talk about later in health and healing, but I want to spend a little bit more time highlighting and celebrating Black women authors. There was something I saw this week that reminded me that I should spend more time doing that, especially as a Black woman author. So I went to talk about her books. Her first book is called On Rotation. So as a cardiologist, a lot of her characters
Mm,
are in the medical profession. And I think that's a
yeah.
lot of fun in terms of world building, to be able to go into these people's worlds and to get to understand a lot more about what goes into these people's professions and how that intersects with who they are, how they have to make decisions about love and romance and all of the things that go into the stories that she tells. Again, they're romances and there's between friends and lovers. And I am particularly excited about her upcoming book called Die For Me, which comes out later this year and is her first paranormal romance. So she said
Ooh.
Twilight, but make it ethnic, make it for the culture.
We love a paranormal romance.
Girl, look, this is 2026, 2027 is about to be that time. I think
Yes.
we're about to get what we've been looking for. So I am super excited about her and being able to celebrate her, and I will do my best to do more highlighting. That I just haven't had a chance to do as much reading as I want to do because of deadlines, but I am very excited to do that. And if you're looking for something new to read, check out, and new perspectives, check out Shirlene either on the shelf or on social.
I love it. So Die For Me is the paranormal one?
Yeah, it appears to be a vampire story with a woman who's a physician, and she meets this guy who something's not right. Something ain't right.
I love this. Is it out yet
Mhm.
or is it about to come out? I think
I
I missed
believe it's this
this.
summer.
Oh, okay. Okay. Pre-order.
I know. New follower.
New follower. Ding, 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 ding. I am down for this. Well, thank
Girl.
you for talking about Shirlene.
And I'm glad I was able to get her name pronounced correctly. Her last name. I've been failing. I'm like
Girl,
at
I was just messing with
25%.
you. No, you listen. A for effort, always. Always. Okay. You are a Harvard law trained lawyer. So,
And I speak another language. So I'm like,
and you speak another language.
girl, but I'm
Exactly.
constantly humbled by trying to pronounce last
You're
names
doing great,
correctly.
sweetie. You're
Thank
doing
you.
great. Don't let
Thank
my
you.
foolishness
Thank you,
keep
friend.
you.
No, I mean, but I'm just saying, okay.
So, what I'm on right now. I love this segment.
I do too, just because it has a song. But I'm on right now.
I love it.
We need to work on the harmony so we can sing it together. I'm not trying to play myself, so that's why I don't do it.
Wait, are you still taking singing lessons? I remember you were doing that.
I fell off for a while. I am going back to my
Mm.
singing. I've been practicing, but I haven't had another lesson in so long. Shout out to Tanisha Hall. She's the best vocal teacher ever. And Whitehall Academy. I'm coming back. I'm coming back to my lessons.
Okay. Mama, I need to join you if we're gonna do
Girl,
this.
I highly
harmony.
recommend it. I know we need to work on it.
We should. So Gerard Jenkins. I hope it's Gerard or Jared. Let's say Gerard, because he looks like a Gerard.
He looks like, I like the name looks like a Gerard too.
It looks
The
like a
show
Gerard.
notes. Okay.
He's a journalist who focuses on amplifying overlooked voices in fashion and entertainment. I would also add that a lot of his pieces break down the perception versus reality of the topics that he focuses on. So, one of his most recent videos that went viral was about how the industry trades are essentially all owned by the same guy.
Mm,
Jay Penske of Penske Media. He owns Variety, Deadline, THR, which is a Hollywood Reporter, IndieWire, a piece of the Golden Globes, a piece of Vox Media, so on and so forth. Now, I'm in television, and I didn't know about this.
mm-hmm.
I kept seeing the name, but I didn't realize it was all one person. So it actually makes sense that some of the headlines that we've been seeing are a little bit biased. Mainly, Chalamet is the king of the box office with Marty Supreme, and Marty Supreme is box office bomb. But anyways, we'll move on from that. Another video that I found of his that was fascinating was his research on which luxury bags have a high resale value. Now, one would think bags from Chanel, Gucci, Prada, Bottega are high on that list, but it's actually Hermes,
Drumroll.
Goyard,
Mm-hmm.
and this one really threw me for a loop. Telfar.
Now, see, those are all bags of the culture. You know, the culture loves an Hermes.
You
Got
right?
it. The Birkin is the
You right?
tabletop conversational bag, and then you know the culture loves the Goyard.
You right?
That is the Frigidaire refrigerator of bag references. I'm in my Goyard, and then of course the Telfar,
I
which
mean,
is
you're
what
not wrong.
hopefully we.
Actually, I didn't even think about that. You're
Those are all the
absolutely right.
bags of the culture.
You're
So,
absolutely right. The resale
mm,
values are above 80%. So essentially, what he was able to zero in on is that you're wasting your money with the other brands because their value drops as soon as they leave the lot.
well,
So take
we
that with
know
what you will.
why. We know why because of
Um,
the culture.
the last piece, this one was really fascinating. He did a piece about AI music scandals and how it often involves Black women and how it's harming
Mm-hmm.
Black women. Now, there was an artist, this is actually something that I like to call AI blackface. There is an artist named Sienna Rose that was supposed to be like a Taylor Swift copycat.
Is this an AI artist?
Yes,
Okay.
Sienna Rose. It didn't work. So they
Mm-hmm.
changed her into a neo soul artist. And now she's on Spotify's viral top 50 list like 3 times.
Okay.
If we did the womp womp button, this would be the time we would drop that there. There was another song called I Run that had an artist on it that sounded a lot like Georgia Smith. And Georgia was
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know who this is, but this ain't me. Bunch of lawsuits came about. And then these mofos had the nerve to talk about, so, well, why are you engaging in what we're posting? I don't know, maybe because you were using hashtag Georgia Smith to promote the song. Hello. So they took the song down. And then they re-released it with a new singer that they found on TikTok. What I appreciate most about his reporting is that he really does zero in on things that often get ignored, like the Housemaid movie with Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried, which is a box office hit. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know this was a book. I didn't know this movie even existed, but apparently it is over $200 million worldwide, and there's a sequel. So anyways, I've stayed on his page for hours. He's just really good at what he does. He also, shout out to him for real, because he lets us in on deals. He puts us on the sample
Mm.
sales. He also told us about the Christian Louboutin sale that happened, which everything was like 60% off. Girl, yes. So anyways, I'm on a
New
shopping sabbatical.
follower.
New follower. I'm on a shopping sabbatical, but when I'm back on, I'm gonna be looking at Gerard's page so I can know where to put my coins at. So shout out to him. That's what I'm on right now.
That's something good to be on. I see you with their what is that, a Yeti?
Oh, my water bottle? No, it's
Y-
Brewmate. Brummates. I think it's Brummates because it has is it the ulats? The 2 dots on the U? Is that what you call them?
I don't
Umlauts?
know. I would be today years old on that one too if that is the case. I do not know.
I think it's umlauts. Umlauts. Let me look this up real quick. As you
Like Noel over Noel.
umlaut. Yeah, it is.
Girl,
A mark used over a vowel, as in German or Hungarian. I'm smart. I have a
go
degree.
ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl. Okay. Well, what I'm on right now because I'm on a writing deadline is basically nothing. But no, seriously, um
I know
uh,
y'all listening to this and be like, if she mentioned this deadline one more time, we
this
get it.
is weird
We
real
get it.
time, y'all. I'm like, this is what life is like. People are like, I want to be a writer. Like, do you? Because this is what life is like.
Do
This is what it
you?
looks like. Do you? Do you really?
Ah.
Let me tell you something, sis. But anyway, so there's just like a limited range of what I'm consuming. And so my new discoveries are limited. I love new discoveries. So, this is a very, very challenging time for me. Thoughts and prayers are welcome. But I am keeping my Duolingo going. I'm on Unit 7 in French. I'm not breaking my 45-day streak, just FYI. And otherwise, what I'm on right now is Substack. So I posted a little note on Substack. I said, this is like finding out where the after party is. I feel like Substack is where it's the after party. There was a party in LA. If you've gone to Kiss and Grind, right? There was Kiss and Grind now, and then there's when Kiss and Grind first started. That when Kiss and Grind first started, it was like held in these little secret places, like art galleries.
Mm.
Prince would come.
Ooh.
It was so quiet and clicky, and I feel like that's what Substack is right now. It's like it's where all the cool. It's like where did the cool kids go? You're at a party and you look around and you're like, wait a minute, everybody left.
Mm-hmm.
You
Where
know
they
what I'm
go?
saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They went to Substack, so this is where they are.
I love
Dochi's
it.
there, Lizzo's there. We all over there. Okay. So I started using it. I'm just testing things out, contributing small bits of content here and there, small ideas. And I just started my Camel Belly Substack, which has been documenting my weight loss journey. So this has just been my little outlet while I'm working on long form content to bring short form content. And what I've been learning from other authors is that they're writing their short form content on Substack as well. So I look for a lot of your favorite authors, favorite writers on Substack because it's where
Mm-hmm.
people are testing ideas, people are having conversations, not in the short form like Instagram and TikTok, but in schmedium form. So not
Mm-hmm.
the super long lead, long form content, but just when you want to get an idea out and you want to get it to people and you want to start conversation and you want to be in community, this is where people are going. So We Are Out of Office is on Substack.
Woo
So
woo.
check for us there. Make sure you subscribe if you're headed over to Substack. Make We Are Out of Office one of your first places to go. There's a lot of cool things that we'll be able to do, like live and virtual events. So just check for us. And the other thing I'm on right now is I just started taking a new writing class. And so you probably
Really?
yes. So people probably would think as a career author that I don't take classes. I may teach classes, but don't of course I take classes. So every time I want to do something new, especially as a writer, and I cannot advocate for this more if you're an aspiring writer, take a class. And I'll tell you the benefits of a writing class for me. Number one, I get an instant mentor for usually something new. So right now I've been working on a memoir concept and a book proposal for a memoir and really trying to flesh out a new form of writing for me. So I've been
Mm.
doing fiction. It's still storytelling, but it's just a different way of telling story because you have the limitations of it actually some piece of it being tethered to reality, like what happened. So you have a
Makes sense.
you can't
Yeah.
just make stuff up out of the blue. I mean, some people have with their memoirs, but that's not my goal. So
Who are you talking about? Now I need to know.
James Frey, anyone?
Oh, that's right. I
Uh-huh.
forgot about was it Million
But
Little Pieces?
yeah, something like that. Oh no.
Child.
Lots of little tears. I don't know what the name of the book it was, but it was a big scandal.
It was. I
So,
remember that.
but anyway, yeah. So if that's not your goal and your aim, at least for me,
If you
I
don't
was
wanna lie as you tell your story.
just make the whole damn thing up. No, I'm really trying to work on something new, and it does bridge this little gray area. But you get an instant mentor, so somebody who's skilled in that arena as the instructor, and then you get instant community. And what I like about writing class community as opposed to like writing groups is that everybody's at the same place at the same time in a writing class. When you get a writing group, people are in different stages of success and different
That's right.
levels of skill and experience. And so you wind up having to you're just not getting critique in a fully supportive way necessarily. Sometimes people are coming to you from a place of authority when they don't really have authority. And when you're in a class, nobody knows nothing. That's what's great. So so all
That's
the
right.
feedback is everybody's a beginner. So that is my other what I'm on right now. I think it's just very constructive and it's been a great addition to me again.
I
I'm not gonna
love
say
it.
it. I'm not gonna say being on deadline again, except I said it again.
No, what I love about this is people in the medical profession do this all the time too. They always update whatever discipline that they're in. They go to classes to learn more about the advancements in that specific area. So that makes sense that you would
Mm.
continue to go to classes to learn more skill sets and apply them to especially with you going into this more different writing space. It makes actually it makes a lot of sense. Now I gotta figure out like what do I need to go back to school for
Girl, I will
that.
take a class. What do you yeah, what class can you what do you need that's a really good question. What do you need to go back to school for?
What do I need to go back to school for? Like, what class would I take that would benefit this new chapter of mine? Because if you are new here,
Mhm.
I announced in the first episode of the year that I left my job. Well, what I'm saying it now is I left my dream job to pursue my dream life.
Mm.
And I want to dedicate more time to be out of office and building this out. But there's so many other things that I've been wanting to do too, now that I have this freedom to be more driven by the life I want and then filling that with the things that I want to do.
Mhm.
So at least for now, actually I can talk more about this in health and healing segment. I'm gonna hold this for that. But I can talk more about what I'm doing now that
Health
I
and healing.
left my job. Yeah.
Well, in the meantime, I know you're minding your black business.
Always. In all ways. Okay. So I was recently put on to the Brown Butter Supper Club. It's a family style dining experience that's curated by Courtney Futch Brinson. It's primarily based in Atlanta. She's had
Mm.
some dinners in New York City. No menu is ever repeated unless she takes it on the road. I'll talk more about that in a bit. So that means when you sign up for her dinners, which happen every 6 to 8 weeks, and I think they happen like 3 to 4 times that week, that's it. You had that dinner, it's not coming back.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's not like at home.
And
Because you know the leftovers, you're going to have those for 2, 3 days. Okay. Family style, but not family style. Not that
exactly.
kind of family style,
Not that kind of family
because you know
style.
you be eating that. You have spaghetti, you be eating that for a week.
Yes, facts. We got food at the house. Okay.
We got food at the house. This is going out. This is
So,
fancy, y'all.
so each of her dinners, 5 courses, 3 mocktail pairings. She's been doing this since 2023. She's been a chef for over 12 years. Her roots are Southern, but she always brings the world into her food. Her last one was called Gingered Velvet, which is Southern soul food blended with East Asian influences. The one that she just announced for early February is called Pêche Noire. So it's melding the classic French technique with West African, Caribbean, and
Mm.
soul food elements. And I got a chance to look at the menu. Y'all, my mouth is watering. One of the starters is plantain and coconut milk focaccia.
What?
One of the mains is bœuf bourguignon with bœuf with
Bœuf bourguignon.
suya spiced carrots. The sides include Senegalese jollof rice. The dessert is plantain and molasses sticky toffee pudding. Girl,
That sounds amazing.
the prices are like 150, 175. Now people fly in for these experience, but good news for us in LA, Charlotte, DC, Dallas, Oakland, the Pacific Northwest, so it's either Portland or Seattle, Chicago. She's going on tour,
Okay.
y'all. The Brown
That's
Butter
cool.
Supper Club is heading to you and to us.
I love this.
So she also launched a membership club for folks in Atlanta that gives you early access to tickets because those tickets be selling out quick. And what I love about this, she's entirely self-funded.
That's
She's doing the thing.
She's doing the thing. And this is what I love about this. And I hope that people listening with ideas, this is your sign. If you have an idea that you do not have to go all the way, you can start small. I mean, I'm still gonna call her Mara Campo from Instagram.
Uh,
Look, I got the part I got. With her eyelids. I mean, she started with 300 units. That
mhm.
is key. When I started publishing and writing books, I started with self-publishing, print on demand. So it's like you don't have to start so big, and like these ideas that you have that are big ideas, every big idea started small. It started small. So I had somebody tell me recently, this is Detroit story, but Dan Gilbert, who is an uber billionaire now. He started his company getting loans from his parents and neighbors to start the business.
I didn't know he got loans from family and friends. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, I think that's the people I think when you have a big idea
Yeah.
and it feels big to you, you think the beginnings are big.
Yeah.
But
Just start
it's not.
small. You're right.
Yeah, just get started. And
Just get
and
started
I
is
I
key.
know that. Yeah, when as a visionary, when I get an idea, I'm like, "Oh my god, it's going to be huge." And it
Yeah.
is going to be huge, but it doesn't start huge. It starts very small. And I
Correct.
and I think the hugeness stops people from getting started.
That is so true. I think, you hit the nail on the head. It's funny. Again, you did this again. We do this all the time. This will dovetail into health and healing. I can't wait to talk
Mm.
about it. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Wow. I was going to talk about small business, Black owned business. I saw a post on Threads. I was dabbling in Threads. I think you kind of put me on the Threads. I feel like I felt
Girl,
FOMO. I feel Threads FOMO every time you talk about Threads. So I've been looking at my Threads,
keep me on
and
that side of the internet. I love threads.
people be loving their Threads. Okay, so I saw a post on Threads about magnesium oil, and the original poster, I believe her name is Nikki.
Mm.
She was saying that not this Nikki, but a different Nikki. She was saying that she bought some. She's like, I just bought this magnesium oil, y'all, and I'm gonna try it, and that was the end of the post.
Oh, I did see that.
And then we didn't see
I
and then we
saw
didn't see
that.
nothing from her. People are like, "Sis, are you okay?"
Yeah.
And then we didn't hear from her again till the next day. She's like, "I was knocked out, y'all." I was like
I did see that.
I was like, if this is not an advertisement, I'm like, people, this was a brand that she found on Amazon, but I was like, let me find out a little bit more about this magnesium oil, if this is how it's popping. And I found, so in the comments in the thread, there was a recommendation for a Black owned company that makes magnesium oil, and it was Body Love by Tal. And so Tal is Natalia King, and Body Love by Tal has been showcased and used by Tabitha Brown, and a bunch of other people have gotten onto this. But she
Mhm.
makes a magnesium butter, she makes a magnesium oil, and if you go to
Mm.
her social media page, you see that her business is really a family affair. Her whole family is in the lab making those products with her. She's got a storefront in Porter, Colorado.
Oh.
And it's so cool to see everybody from her family step up and help her meet her orders and meet her demand. And then she talks about her origin story and how she just got started. And so I just think she's a great person to support. And evidently that magnesium oil will be putting people to sleep. Okay. So
Facts. Well, I use magnesium glycinate at night before I
I
go.
take it internally. You take it
So,
internally or you
yeah.
use it? Well, you know that I think Epsom salts, that's a form of magnesium too, I believe.
Oh, that makes sense.
So
It's
I
very
think
soothing.
it's absorbable in many, many ways. It's one of the most critical minerals, nutrients that we are often lacking. So it does
True.
make sense. People use it in the bottom of the soles of their feet. People take it internally. I take a magnesium supplement too. And so yeah, the magnesium oil, that's the latest rage. Evidently it's absorbable through the skin, I guess. According to the original poster on Threads.
I saw that same thread, and it was
So
everybody was like, "Sis, are you okay?"
I
Like
know.
it was good.
Sin
It was
proof of
good. I
life. Like, what
laughed.
is happening? I
I laughed.
know.
It was a good one.
I was confused though, I must say, for like at least 5 minutes. I was like, where's the rest of the thread? What happened? I want to know what happened. And I was like, oh.
There's some funny people on Threads. I love
It's
they're so
funny. It
smart
was
and
funny.
funny
Y'all
and
smart.
very entertaining. It's so entertaining.
You smart. You's kind.
And beautiful.
And you's beautiful.
All right, let's head into Jesus Take the Wheel.
Jesus take the wheel. It has to start with a sigh though.
Okay, it's really not that deep, but for some people it was a lot. I was like, okay, come on guys. Like let's take a beat here. So as I mentioned, I'm on a shopping sabbatical. I'm not buying more clothes or things. I do not need more clothes, but the only reason why I'm talking about this is because the fashion girls on TikTok have been very loud about the Hanifa shipping situation. Now, if you're unaware of Hanifa, this is a brand, a Black-owned, woman-owned global luxury brand known for its incredible knitwear and purses. It's founded by this Kenyan. Her name is Anifa Mwimba. So here what happened. This past Black Friday, Hanifa ran a sale. And they communicate a sale, and there was like pre-orders, and they communicated that the items would arrive by December 30th. December 30th came and went. No packages for some people, no updates for some people, and people were understandably upset. Now, I've personally participated in a Hanifa pre-order. Black Friday 2024, I believe. Brown bag. It arrived about a week late. I didn't mind because they communicated the delay. I got the bag. I love it. I still haven't used it, which is exactly why I'm not shopping anymore, but that's another thing. Now, there was an email sent out to customers about the delay, this last shipping situation. Some people received it, some people did not. Some people have received their items, others are still waiting. Then, as people were dealing with this situation, they went on TikTok. They talked about the shipping situation. And then it became about all the problems they have with the brand. I don't like the piling on. Thank you. You picked up exactly what I was putting down. Now listen, the complaints make sense. We've all been there. But the backlash got so intense that Anifa had to come on TikTok while on maternity leave to address it. And this is where I'm like, okay, y'all, let's reel it in a bit. Now, regarding the shipping and the miscommunication, this is clearly a systems breakdown. But the way some of y'all are acting, y'all thinking like she took y'all money and ran with it, as if you were never going to get your items. This is not a scam. It's not a scam. The level of outrage just didn't match the offense. And again, I'm not excusing what happened, but we all know what it takes to run a business, especially a Black-owned, woman-owned fashion brand. It's the lack of infrastructure. It's the lack of capital. The fact that Hanifa is still standing is a feat. We've watched
miracle.
we've watched brand after brand after brand disappear because the industry is brutal. Now, I want to take a
Ami
pause.
Coley.
Ma'am, Pat McGrath, Fenty being sold. I want to talk about the industry for a second. Saks Fifth Avenue is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Saks.
Like Fifth Avenue in New York City, Fifth Avenue, where it started. I mean, come on now.
This is the same company that owned Neiman Marcus and Bergdorf. So if a luxury retail giant is struggling, that tells you that that tells you that the fashion industry as a whole is under serious pressure right now. So if Saks is having an issue, why would you assume a smaller independent black owned brand wouldn't? Something bigger
Mhm.
is happening. Supply chains, tariffs, manufacturing costs, cash flow. But anyways, back to the shipping delays and the sizing. So shipping delays happen all the time. But where was this same energy for Zara
Uh-huh.
when their shipments are delayed? And the shitty sizing. How many times have we gone to Zara and try something and then be like, "Ugh, it doesn't fit," return it and move on? Like, this has happened before for other things. So
Uh-huh.
I need that same energy, or better yet, we don't need the pile-on. There are
Uh,
things that are worth the collective rage. This is not it. Like Sprinkles Cupcakes shutting down nationwide with 1 day's notice to their employees.
wait, there's no
That's
more sprinkles?
no, girl, they shut it down. They gave their workers 1 day's notice being like, "Hey y'all, we're shutting down tomorrow all of the sprinkles in 1 day."
The the vending
Yes.
machines too?
Yes, gone, gone.
Oh my gosh.
Now that deserves collective outrage. Shipping delays, frustrating, yes. Communication breakdown needs fixing, yes. But the way that y'all have been dragging the brand, it's excessive. And I
That's
need us to relax.
that's see the one thing I want to say about this, and I feel like this was not what I was going to talk about, but when I talked about anger, and I said the relationship to anger, and as a community, we need to deal with that. This is such a huge concept to unpack because historically, our community has been kept from a normal pathway of feeling angry, metabolizing it, releasing it, and
Mhm.
going on to being constructive. So because we've been forced to suppress so much anger as a community, any excuse to release it, we look for. And most unfortunately, the first excuse comes from someone close to us, which means someone that
Mhm.
looks like us. And then we do something incredibly unfair like this. Like we pile onto because the shipping delay, yeah, justifiable for to be upset, but not a justifiable excuse for outrage. But because it's an excuse to be upset, it turns into outrage. People, it becomes a lightning rod, and people are like, oh, here's my opportunity because you're mad about something else. And you go on ahead, which we talked
Facts.
about in the last episode, and you go on ahead and, oh, this is a great excuse for me to pour out my outrage.
Right.
Because, and I think the internet makes it feel like it's victimless. It's not. And that's part of what I wanted to talk about, actually.
Oh,
Not
dive
about
in.
this particularly, but
Mhm.
I wanna talk about the cost of being a Black creator, and I'm saying this as a Black creator, and how challenging it is, and we don't raise our hand, we do not say, "Ouch." We just bear it, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, that person never wrote another thing," or "That person never did another thing." All of a sudden this person disappears and you wonder, oh, maybe they fell off, or and sometimes people even look for the downfall because it gives them an excuse for why they never got started. But that's
Mhm.
another story, another conversation. But I noticed again on Threads, another fellow author, I saw a post and she was talking about how the industry and the fact that it's set up and the lack of transparency and the way that certain people are celebrated and platformed and
Mhm.
resourced and highlighted, and oftentimes it's at the expense or it's not Black authors, and
Mm.
we put our life's blood and all that when I keep talking about deadline, 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 you guys understand from me because I'm like I'm being more transparent. Like it takes everything to create these books that we create. It takes everything. It's a sacrifice. It's we're undercompensated, we're under resourced, we're under platformed, we're under celebrated, and we still do it.
Mhm.
We still put everything towards it. So when you have people raising their hands and speaking about the exhaustion that they feel, it's time, I think, as a community to start thinking about rallying and the power that we have because we have power to do either more harm or we have power to uplift. And I will say that the most powerful element of what my career has been as an author has been the support from community, and particularly Black women.
Mm,
And when I was originally told that my main character was not relatable, was not likable, it was Black women that by word of mouth
mhm.
caused that book to do better than even traditionally published books
Now,
that were accepted by the
can we
main.
put a pause here?
Mhm.
Can you quantify that for us? Like, what does that mean in
You
terms of
mean?
how well the book performed when you self-published it
Mhm.
to get the attention of Harper?
It sold 20,000 copies independently between late 2018 and 2020. So
20,000 copies.
20,000 copies, and that's very significant for books. I mean, they don't publish numbers, but I mean it's a very significant showing for a debut novel. I mean, a lot of books sell less than 250 copies, some many sell less than 2,000 copies. So you wind up, when you have an independently published book doing better than traditionally published books, but originally I was told by the agents that I originally approached who represented well-known names.
Mhm.
And one day I will share some of those responses that I got. It's not flattering to some of those people. But I think it's time for transparency, and we should know some of the things that do happen. But it's discouraging. And
Yeah.
there's a cost to the piling on. There's a cost to the lack of resourcing. So I reposted a thread the other day from author Lola Akinmade. If you have not uh, checked out her books, she wrote In Every Mirror She's Black. She wrote Everything Is Not Enough. Her most recent release is Bitter Honey.
Mhm.
Fantastic author. If you like my books, you'd like her books. She kind of writes within not slice of life, but it is slice of life, reality based fiction. There's love stories, but it's women centered. She's a phenomenal observer of humanity, and
Mm.
her art is beautiful. She's also a photographer. But she made a post that was so purposefully not complaining.
Mm.
And it was just transparent enough on Threads to shine a light on the exhaustion that we Black authors, especially Black women authors, Black women fiction authors, face in an industry that's really driven more now by popularity and easy
Mhm.
visibility. It's driven by going along with the tide rather than setting trends, taste making, standing for something, pushing what should be pushed, forcing uncomfortable conversations. That used to be what the center of this was about, but now it's about easy popularity, positioning, and platforming what's already popular.
Yeah.
So when this kind of thing happens, when these transitions happen in these spaces, the brunt of the weight of change, of those types of changes, falls most typically on those that need the push the most, which is usually Black creators.
Yeah.
We're usually the ones when you see industry contractions, when you see industries going towards a normalizing and a medium, when you see things like the bankruptcy of Saks Fifth Avenue, for example, it's Black creators that get left in the dust when people are scrambling and trying to consolidate resources. And so the fire gets fueled for some people, but the oxygen is starved from others. And so my Jesus Take the Wheel take on this is going to transition into health and healing, because the reality of this kind of pressure and this kind of lack of resources and this kind of having to be stoic in the face of this level of pressure, especially during this time, has a real human cost.
Mhm.
And there's a certain kind of exhaustion that comes along with it. So I want to talk about this in health and healing because I do see a solution for it, but I think it's not a commonly used solution.
So before we go into health and healing, where did Lola leave it? Was it just a transparent post and just being like, I'm exhausted because blah, 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 blah? Is she
She
going
didn't
to
use
take a
that
step
word.
back from, oh, so,
No, no, no. She didn't even she did not complain at all.
okay.
I was able to read through the lines. It was so very much not complaining. It was so very much not complaining. She expressed tremendous gratitude to her marketing team.
Mm,
William Morrow is the US publisher for that book. It's an international release. But she said that it's just challenging in this. And she was highlighting actually a reader review. And what she was saying was that grassroots support is
yeah,
so important. And she was being incredibly thankful and saying this is why it's important. So she was giving transparency and saying this is why your grassroots support is so important.
right.
And because in this landscape it's especially hard for us. It's especially hard for us. And everybody's doing their best and it's still hard.
Yeah,
So
that's
so
right.
that's so and I think that we don't often get those moments of transparency like that because people don't want to complain. People don't want to seem ungrateful. People, are grateful. People
Yeah,
are she's a tremendously successful author and her books are extraordinarily successful. Everything is not enough. In every mirror she's black, like I was saying, and Bitter Honey is the latest release. And people do support her and we should support her. But it a lot of times it does fall into grassroots support when
mhm,
major media platforms that should be talking about this. That's their job to highlight things that people should know about and maybe don't. But instead they become an echo chamber and just focus on what we already know about. They popularize what's already popular.
that's
That
right.
was not how this industry used to be. This industry used to be about pushing the hard conversations. It used to be about telling you something that you don't know but you should know about. Here's somebody that's worth you knowing about that you might
Yeah,
not find on your own.
that's true.
That's the inherent value of what media was. That's why we all watched it, and that's why we're all now on YouTube and on social media because there are other courageous creators who are doing that work, who are doing curation work, who are pushing uncomfortable conversations, who are actually giving us new information. Every week I listen to you on our podcast because you're giving me something that I should know about, but I don't.
That's right.
There's countless things
Yeah,
that I've discovered because of the work that we do every week of curating and trying to find something that people would want to know about but maybe don't and the platform that we have as modest as it is currently, it's still valuable.
yeah,
It's still powerful and we're doing that work. We're signing up for it. But I think the fact that there's still a gaping vacuum there has a real human cost. There's a real human cost to it. So I wanted to talk about that in health and healing,
yeah. So
but I
let's get
just
into
wanted
it.
to
Yeah,
to make a Jesus take the wheel moment, which actually kind of dovetailed into what you were saying about the piling on. There's two sides of this. There's the not piling on, and then there's also the you know what? Let me make a different decision. Let me roll. Let me ride for these people so that because we want
yeah.
them around. We want them here.
Is there's a difference between holding someone accountable and just dogpiling, right? And
Mhm.
the problem is what we don't want to happen is for the dogpiling to give way to the brand shutting down because people are just not ordering stuff from her anymore. And then we look up and God forbid this happens because I love the Hanifa the brand, but then it shuts down. People are like, "Oh my gosh, I love that brand. I can't believe it." And I'm like, "Well, I
Right.
can actually pinpoint when this all took a turn
Mhm.
because we all decided to go on TikTok and make 20,000 videos about shipping and, I want my address for this, that, and the third, which we understand, but don't turn this into a moment where we're just not giving these businesses grace because what? Lack of resources, lack of
Mm.
infrastructure.
Yeah.
We want them to succeed, and I hope and I know actually, I think Anifa will do better with communicating with the systems at play, but there's certain things that are completely out of her
Right.
control.
And
Come on, y'all.
sometimes the investment is grace. Sometimes the support is grace.
Right.
Sometimes the support is saying, "You know what? I'm angry, but this isn't the right valve. this isn't the right place to direct my anger. And
Exactly.
and we don't have, I'm saying this, I've been saying this, we don't have a good relationship with anger in our community. We don't have constructive, normalized pathways to take that anger and put it somewhere where it doesn't hurt anybody. But this is our individual opportunity at this point to acknowledge that and ask ourselves,
Right.
there is a hurt that comes. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to say there is a human cost. You are hurting someone. And do you and there's just because the internet makes it seem silent on the other end, there's a cost. So, do you want to be part of that? And then wake up in a world where people, you can't expect people to just bear the burden of this and continue indefinitely.
Right.
So, do you want me to? I can transition us into health and healing
Yeah,
and
please
talk about
do.
this
Let's keep
because
talking.
I think this is an important topic, and like I said, bringing up the topic of anger and our relationship to it as a community, that's a longer conversation. But I'll keep bringing it up where I see it and identify it, in our regular segments. But in the health and healing version of this, so I wanted to talk about my experience and kind of transition this into what can we do about this.
Mhm.
So my most well-known book, Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, it's about a Black woman coming into confrontation with the embodiment of the actual costs of being both Black and a woman. So she's
Mhm.
facing a stress-related medical issue. She's caught between a rock and a hard place in her personal life, her professional life, and her financial well-being. That's the book. That's what it's about. It's specific details, but that's the circumstance. A Black woman who is having a stress-related, so there's the medical issue. You're seeing the cost of her being both Black and a woman in the various aspects of her life. That's what that book showcases and talks about. So I've been thinking about this as a concept a lot lately in real life about the costs and choices that we're forced to make. And at least personally, even as a successful author,
Mhm.
even as a successful career author, there's not a single day that goes by that I don't think it would be a lot easier to go back to a legal career.
Mm.
Not a single day. No, I don't stop writing. I don't quit. But I'm in this field as opposed to in a field of law where it's, less subjective. I am subjected to the realities of racial disparities, and it's exhausting. It is exhausting. So it's every day that I choose not to quit, even even with gratitude for the success and gratitude for the support. It is challenging. It's challenging because of the realities that exist and the costs that exist. And so what saddens me both with that within our community and outside of our community, when you hear a Black woman in particular speaking about the weight or burden or cost of her experience,
Mhm.
particularly when it's called calling out unfair disparities when it comes to resourcing or rest or help or credibility or compensation, the reaction is typically callous.
Mm.
Well, you're in a better position than me. If you don't
Right.
like it, why don't you just quit then? That's typically how we respond to a Black woman raising her hand and saying, "You know what? This is exhausting. This is difficult. This is
Right.
challenging." But I want to stress the importance, the actual life-saving, a critical importance of saying ouch, especially as Black women. Of raising our hands and saying ouch, saying this is exhausting.
Mhm.
This is challenging. I am at my limit. This is too much. We don't do that. We don't get a good response when we do that, but we need to be able to do it. And it's when I put Black Girls out and the book, and when I took it out to agents and they said that my protagonist, Tabitha Walker, was unlikable and unrelatable. Now remember what I told you what the book is about. Do you know who showed up for that book? Black women.
Yep.
Other Black women showed up for that book. And the strength of community that we have is a latent but omnipresent resource. It's a superpower that we have access to, and all we have to do is activate it. And do you know how to activate it?
That's right.
By raising your hand and saying, ouch. It's too much. Just that one moment of transparency. We need to articulate the cost of our experience. We need to say when it's too hard, when
Yeah.
we're making choices about giving up, especially right now, especially in these times, because we need our best and strongest warriors. And I know y'all, the strongest ones have to be weary right now. I know it. I know some of you have to be. So kudos to us, those of us who find the courage to face those loud, callous responses and voices when we simply say ouch. Kudos to those who find the courage to say we're making hard choices, to say we're paying steep costs. And most important, that we need our community to rally behind us. So our ouch is not a complaint, it's transparency.
Yeah.
It's a rallying cry.
I think that's why I like Threads so much, because that is that place, that safe place where people are transparent in a good and a bad way. And because we gather you quickly, okay? But for the most part, when we do need that encouragement, when at least the posts I've seen, a lot of times we see the comments are
Mhm.
are doing its job, right?
Yeah.
And it's always someone saying that they're cancer free, or they've learned something new about their relationship, or they're dealing with grief, or they're taking a leap of faith on something. A lot of the times the comments are overwhelmingly positive, and you always feel proud that, like, oh, okay, there are good people that exist. Again, keep me on that side of the internet, right? Where it's not
Mhm.
people just going in on each other. I mean, I know with recent news of certain social media families divorcing, people had a lot to say. I didn't see it. I just know other people's reactions to what they saw.
Uh-huh.
And I was actually giving myself a pat on the back because my algorithm is algorithming. But there is a safe space to do that, and I think and I hope to God stays this way before someone ruins it, hopefully, but hopefully they don't. But Threads, it's that,
Mhm.
and I think, yeah, you're absolutely right, especially now. Now is not the time. It really isn't. Like, there's so many things. Like I said, there are other things to be really mad about, and when someone is being transparent about something, let's give them some grace. Let's support them. Let's say,
That's the
okay,
time. That's the
but
time to
do
support
better.
them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is the most important time to support them. You're absolutely right, which is why I was so annoyed by the dogpiling. I'm like, guys, she
Uh.
actually came out of maternity leave to tell you why things were happening.
Mhm.
Pull back.
But
Okay.
it's not do better. I mean, at a certain point, you have to realize, and I think that's what you have to ask yourself is, justifiably or not, is this a do no harm situation? Do you need to add on? Is your do better the only do better that this person has heard? Do they need
Mm-hmm.
that feedback so
Right.
because otherwise they wouldn't know?
Right.
And that's how you know is that the dog. That's a good question. A good way to check. If I don't add this, will they not know? They
Mm,
know, sis.
right.
They know.
That's a
You
good
know.
point.
So I hope we enter into our do no harm era to each other in this time. I hope that we enter into that, our do no harm era. Even if you
I love
can't
it.
help, do no harm.
No, I love it. I think that's Yeah, thanks for sharing that. That's great. I'm
I
a
had to
noodle on
read
that.
it.
I'm a
I had to, yeah, I'm like, I had to, my notes were like so dense.
very nuanced conversation we're having, so you wanna
Yeah,
make
it's
sure that
really
all the
complicated.
points are met so that you drive the point home, which you did. Our ouch is not a complaint, it's transparency, and it's up to us, especially on the day of Martin Luther the King,
That's right.
that we need to come together and support each other, okay? We've been
Come
saying this
together.
we've been saying this for how many anyway.
We've been saying this for 48 episodes. This is our 49th
But
episode.
even, like, collectively as a people, we've been saying this since the beginning of time, it feels like.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's just even more important to do so now with the way things are going. But Let's jump into something that's a lot of fun. At least I think it's a lot of fun, and it's
I
been
love this for health and healing. We go deep and then we make it fun.
yeah, we
This
don't keep it all
is
heavy because what I'm about to talk about is something that I've been calling vision boarding in real life.
I love it.
Okay, so the last time I did a vision board in 2014, I got everything I wanted. So
Really?
everything, girl.
What's the best thing? What's the best thing of the
Well, I found my
2014 vision board?
husband, my dream.
Ooh,
I officially transitioned into the career that I wanted, which was scripted television. I moved to LA. I traveled to Europe. Like everything on my vision board came true. Everything was great.
I love that.
So I decided I'm going to do another vision board, but this time I'm going to physically do the things that I would put on my vision board. So instead of just imagining the life I want, I've been practicing it. Yes.
Wanna
So
hear more?
I really want to own a home big enough for all of my family to come over and to entertain large groups of people. So, of course, it's a big ass home. I'm talking over 4,000 square feet.
Yes,
So I'm going to open houses.
in LA.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to open
Girl.
houses. And I'm not talking about buying a home tomorrow. That's not what but I'm going to open houses to teach my mind, body, and soul that I am allowed to want something bigger.
Amen.
Okay. So I'm turning this vision boarding in real life into a series on my personal page at NikkiTM40 on TikTok. So you can join me. Episode 2 will drop at some point this week. And that one is going to be focusing on, I've always wanted to be a lady who lunges. So I'm going to try that
Doing
this week.
lady who lunching.
The lady who lunches. Like, this is like the woman that, has these long lunches because she can. It's not.
Because she can, darling.
Because she can.
Are you gonna wear big shades?
I
This
probably
is the
will.
most critical question.
That would be
Okay.
extra AF. I'm pretty sure. Yes. I probably will big shades and bring out one of my bags and make it a whole thing. So stay tuned. But I feel like a lot of us, we don't have a dream problem. I think we have a permission problem. So I'm hoping this series can motivate y'all to do the same. So my question for you this week is for y'all, what's one small thing that you could practice? And not because it's practical. I don't care if it makes sense on paper. That's not what this is about. But it feels like the life you're meant to be in, right?
I love that.
What's one square of your vision board that you could live out in real life? So that's what I'm doing.
I love that. You know what? I love that you're doing that. It makes me think of one year for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go to Europe for work, and I had to go I think I had to go to Paris. I was in Paris. So I had my work hotel. And then my boyfriend came to meet me. My then boyfriend came to meet me because it was my birthday weekend. So we stayed. I had my work obligation, and then I know I was going to Paris for work. Yes, that's the
Mhm.
life I used to live before I was an author, y'all. So homegirl's paying costs. I just wanted to say that because I sure ain't getting flown to Paris for work now.
You're not getting flued out. At least not yet.
Not yet, right? Exactly. Where's the French translation? But anyway, so I had my work hotel, and then I was like, okay, where are we gonna stay for the weekend? So I was like, let's stay at the Peninsula. Now,
Oh,
this was not in my budget. This was not in my price range. And this was not in my boyfriend's price range either, because he was like, okay, Heffa, I was trying to help you out and try to
right.
trying to have you
The
have a birthday
peninsula.
weekend.
We
But
got
this
peninsula money.
This one, the budget. This one, this wasn't what I'm talking about. So I was
Hilarious.
like, okay, let's go. Where you were gonna go, I'll match I'll match it. Let's go half, and let's stay at the Peninsula. The
Woo.
reason why I wanted to stay at the Peninsula was this: even though it was beyond me at the time,
Mhm.
I didn't want there to be any door I felt like I couldn't walk in. I wanted to know what it felt like to belong there.
See?
So, and set again, like you said, your nervous system, set your nervous system at ease in all situations, particularly the ones that you want to be in. So you learn how to feel like you belong there, where you want to be. Because otherwise it'd be like, oh, we're going to lunch or whatever, or just walking in the door. You're not belonging. You're visiting. I was staying, honey. Staying.
Repeat that again. You're belonging, not what?
Not visiting.
Okay. So that is the reason
Belonging.
why
Yes.
I am going to these open houses, because I am telling myself, my mind, body, and soul, that I belong in a home that is over $5 million and over 4,000 square feet. This
Right.
home is gorgeous. Y'all, I will include the link. You can go to my personal page, and I've actually pinned it to my page because I didn't realize so many of y'all would actually love this idea. I thought it was just going to be my way of keeping a journal for myself, but it really resonated with a lot of you guys out there. So I'm excited to keep the series going because I do have a
Keep the
lot
series
on
going.
the vision board that I want to
Keep the series
practice.
going. What we need a hashtag for it. I will participate when I'm done with my deadline.
Yeah, I think so my friend said this the other day. She said manifest in 3D, and I actually like that
Mm-hmm. That's
hashtag.
that's right. Manifest in
Maybe
3D.
we'll do that.
But it
But anyway,
does work. It does work. It absolutely does work. Not that I'm regularly staying in the peninsula, but I feel like I belong there. I
okay.
do.
And you do.
And I do.
Period.
So
Right. Let's get into what's good.
let's go.
Let's wrap up the episode.
I what's good is I feel like we should start a nonfiction book club. This is really quick.
Mm.
So I just recommended a book today, reminding me that this was a book. This is like kind of a blast from the past. It's a book that I would buy
Hmm.
5 at a time. I used to have it sitting on my bookshelf. I would hand it out to people like candy. I mean, like literally, you come to my house for Halloween, I'm handing you a self-help book. That's really how it goes. You're like trick or treat. I'm like, here, work on yourself. Let's work on ourselves together. So this was like a book that I read. I was like, it's so good. I immediately bought 5 copies, sat on my shelf, and I would hand them out to people. And
Mm.
they said, y'all, so you know I'm not crazy. They said it was one of the best books that they ever read. So
What book is
what's
this? Good
good?
Lord.
It's called From Abandonment to Healing by Susan Anderson. I think it's a must read for everybody. Don't mind the title. Don't be like, I wasn't abandoned. Okay, but you were. But don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. There's some stuff in there that needs to be read. Don't worry about the title. So it's called From Abandonment to Healing by Susan Anderson. It's on Audible. I think there's an ebook. There's a physical copy. It is an absolute must read. So that's my what's good. I was reminded of that book. If you came in person, you were coming to hang out with me. It would be handed them out like when people were like, do you need a breath mint? That's what I was doing with books. I'd be like, you need one piece of gum?
You need, do you need some help? Here's a book. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
So
gonna download
that's
this
my
book.
what's good.
I
Yeah,
love
girl.
it.
It's one of the best books I ever read. And you'll be like, okay, I know what she was talking about when you hear it. If you take me up on this.
Well, not only will I take you up on this, I want to encourage everyone that as you're reading this book, I need you to go look up this man's page. This is my what's good. His name is Joe Daymond, Daymond. He is from New Zealand, Fijian background, and also Maori. He's touring the US for the first time. Now, Joe
Oh,
is a writer, director, comedian, content creator, and this tour of the US is so wholesome. It is so beautiful. It is so funny, especially at the part that he's in right now, which is touring the Black South. Okay.
really?
The amount of love, curiosity, genuine curiosity, community beauty that has been coming through these videos, it has, I mean, my belief in humanity has come back again.
It's one of those day by day things, but
It's a day by day for sure. But every time I look at his videos, I'm like, oh, see, this is what's so special about traveling, about immersing yourself in a culture and appreciating it for what he is, with it, immersing it for with the intention, respect. It's just awesome. So he has visited Atlanta, he's been to Memphis, I think he went to Jackson, Mississippi. He tried boiled peanuts, which I didn't even know was a thing,
oh,
but
I
now I want to try
love
boiled peanuts.
boiled peanuts. Oh my
I didn't
gosh,
know
they're
this
so
was a thing.
good.
He
Yes.
sat in a chair, a black barber's chair, for the first time. He had his head moisturized and oiled by a Black auntie.
Ooh.
It's these conversations that he's engaged in with people. Like, there was these two girls that recognized him in Atlanta, and then he shared how a lot of Atlanta hip hop artists made their way over to New Zealand and they're big over there, and brought up Yin Yang Twins. And this girl was like, girl, I used to work at McDonald's when the Yin Yang Twins came in all the time, and I never thought anything of them. But the fact that they were so huge in New Zealand is wild to me. And then
Mm.
he also learned about our love for the haka,
Mhm.
and he was really just enamored by that. He was like, wow, like I had no idea. And we were like, yes, because that's the closest thing for a lot of Black Americans. That's the closest thing to something really spiritual and concrete for us. And then someone posted, like, that's our ancestors may have tagged on to the it was just really
Mhm.
beautiful post that someone made. But he also visited Stax Records. He tried gumbo for the first time. He had beignets in New Orleans for the first time. And you see him not just consuming the culture, but it's like he's studying in it, but not in a way to be like, I'm going to culture vulture, but it's like, I he because
Appreciation.
it's an appreciation, because him
Reverence.
as a Black brown person, right, from
Mhm.
the other side of the world, and how much of the Black US culture r- really informed his identity.
Mhm.
There's this really cool, I don't know what it is, it's like rediscovering the culture through his eyes makes
Mhm.
me appreciate it even more,
Well,
right?
yeah, that's beautiful.
It's
There
so dope. It's so dope. Anyways, yeah, just
It
go
makes
check
me
him out.
think of Sonia Renee Taylor. I quote her all the time, and she says that culture is a survival technology of an oppressed people.
Mm.
And I think
Wow.
studying the culture and the survival technology that has been created by the brilliance of American Black people in particular, living under pervasive and ongoing, continual, and
Mhm.
escalating systems of oppression is smart. So,
I
so,
mean,
y-
th-
so,
yeah, there's that. It's smart. That's it. But anywho, check him out, and I don't think he's ever going to leave.
oh no, he will.
Oh man, that's so sad.
I'm sure he will.
But it's been a joy to watch, and every time I see his videos pop up, I am cheesing at how he's like, I'm trying gumbo for the first time. Like, as I mentioned, all the things, these firsts that he's been experiencing. It's just really cool to watch. So that's
This
my
is
what's good.
Girl, I just thank you for your curation and the things that you find. I love doing this podcast with you because I know that we're providing people with a some new joy. Something here is a delight that you haven't heard before or that you haven't didn't know about. I believe. So
Yeah,
I
we don't
just love
gatekeep over
doing
here.
this.
I love
We
sharing stuff like
don't.
this whenever I find them. I'm immediately telling everyone about it. So that's what I appreciate what we do week after week.
I
Well,
love it.
speaking of which, we're gonna wrap it up because this is a
Wrap it up.
long episode, I think. I
Wrap it
think,
up. Well, yeah,
but
we're getting. Oh, yeah, it's running long. Running a
but
little
our
bit long.
final
So final
word,
word. Final
yes,
word.
my final word is actually a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King. So he says, rarely do we find people engaged in hard, solid thinking. There is an almost universal quest for easy answers and half-baked solutions.
Mm.
So my final word is, real change requires real thinking. Easy answers feel good, but they rarely heal anything.
Amen. Well, my final word is sometimes just being transparent is not only asking for the help you need, but it's also giving someone else permission to ask for the help they need.
Bloop.
Bloop.
Well, please lead with grace this week, y'all.
Oh, lead with grace and love.
Lead with grace and love. Have a
Yes.
great week.
Bye.
Bye.